Race number 5 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 3:20. It's the Penfolds Handicap over 1,500 metres and in replay. Let's have a look at the last start win of Avidus.
From Avidus, and over on the outside Laurentinio, Wild Fusion, then wider out Ukbar Jack getting up on the fence here. Bravo, Tycoon Target followed further back in the field then by Send My Love. It's Distant Trilogy with Avidus, the roughie. Distant Trilogy at the 100 mark from Avidus. Over on the inside, yeah, Bravo, Distant Trilogy and Avidus. They'll reach the line, there's nothing between them.
Tough way to kick off the quaddie. The likes of Nordic King, Rising Sea and Stratokey don't really appeal to me at the top of the race card. So I'm going to go with number 4, Avidus. He absolutely killed quaddie punters at the end of December. But as Steele Casey said in the post-race interviews, he had no right to go around at 60-1 after what he'd done in his trial, beating Akvavit by nearly 4 lengths. I think Avidus could go on with it here. I don't mind the fact that he was 60-1 last start. I think you'll get double-digit odds again, and he probably is going to be over the odds. Goes on top. From number 7, Beat the Bell, has got the bars on the fronts, has Beat the Bell, gets a nice draw here. Did win 2 in a row before that run at Pinjarra on the 12th of January last weekend behind Sally's Realm, was only beaten a length and a quarter, and Lucy Warwick takes over from Randy Tan. Number 6, Mongolian Warlord, brings some different form lines here. He's been racing down on its own track of Albany in recent times. Was behind Chasing Chaos last start, beaten 2 lengths. Gets the lugging bit on here. Nice enough gate. Hasn't won at Ascot before, but in an open race willing to chance Mongolian Warlord. And then down the bottom, well related this horse, number 10, Western King, but he has been somewhat disappointing. Has only won a maiden, that was at Northern. Last start was beaten 2 3/4 lengths by Avidus without a great deal of excuses. Top selection in race number 5, going with number 4, Avidus, to beat 7, Beat the Bell, 6, Mongolian Warlord and 10, Western King. Race number 6 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 3:55. It's the main event, it's the Miss Andretti Stakes over 1,100 metres at listed level. In replay, let's take a look at the Summer Scorcher and focus on the run of the Celt.
In the Scorcher, Misty Metal making all haste for the judge, led 2 lengths, G-Boss. They've kicked away this pair, 3 Rebel King and Ambionte, followed by the Celt, but Misty Metal is low flying, down by the 150, she's 3 in front of G-Boss. Ambionte, followed by Rebel King, but she's much too brilliant for the Misty Metal, and Misty Metal ran them ragged.
No knock on the win of Misty Metal in the Summer Scorcher, but from a ratings perspective, there was only one horse worth talking about, and that was the Celt. Given the unfavourable tempo, they went pretty slow in the first 600 metres of that race. The Celt had absolutely no right to finish second. He had the best sectionals home by a very wide margin over what was an unfavourable trip as well of 1,000 metres. I think he'll step up to 1,100 metres on Saturday and appreciate that. He's probably a 1,200 metre horse more than 1,000. I think he's in sensational form. He's been in terrific form since they put the blinkers back on. I think this horse is the one to beat. Goes on top from number 1, First Among Equals. Returns to WA, gets a gear change of the lugging bit off. Gate number 1, Lindsay Smith is the new trainer. Spent some time with Darren Weir. Does have to lump 60 kilos, but last time out was only beaten a short neck by Cool Passion in a Group 3 at Sandown Hillside. And of course, this horse has won plenty of listed races over here in WA, including one in Victoria. Number 3, Misty Metal, no knock on her whatsoever. She was sensational winning the replay race 2 weeks ago. Let's see if she can go on with it. And then number 7, G-Boss, jury out about this horse. I'm giving him one last chance, certainly not as a top pick though, only one for the minors. I think he probably wants 1,000, 1,100 metres on Saturday. We'll see what happens. Top selection in race number 6, going with number 6, the Celt, to beat 1, First Among Equals, 3, Misty Metal and 7, G-Boss. Race number 7 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 4:35. It's the Western Race Picks Handicap over 1,800 metres and in replay. Let's have a look at Reveley's last start.
They'd straightened up at the 300. Nelson's Flight kicked 3/4 of a length in front, but now Mrs. Brown's Boy double digit run on. Rising Sea down towards the inside. Ravelli got Bork going for a run. Double digit Mrs. Brown's Boy. Kennedy draws the whip on double digit. Royal Statue starts to charge down the outside. Dives but misses.
Very, very hard leg of the quaddie is race number 7. Going with number 9, Reveley here. She's not won a city race since May 2017. That should be enough to put a pen through her, you would think. But she's up to 1,800 metres here. This race maps has been run at a pretty moderate tempo, and I think she can probably be close enough in the run as they turn for home to let down. I think she's probably got the best sprint of all the runners in this race. So if it's run that way, I think Reveille could finally break through for her 5th win from 21 starts. She probably should have won more races. Goes on top, but with no confidence whatsoever, from number 4, Miracle Man, who finished second last start behind Royal Command. Gets a nice gate here, stays at the 1800 metres. He's not one of mine, but I think he'll run a race for you. He's pretty tough. Also tough is number 5, Taxagano. He's one of mine. He maps well from gate number 1. If this was 1600 metres, he would go on top, and just got a massive query about his suitability to the 9 furlongs. And then number 3, Double Digit, is in sensational form for Ash Maley, and Jared Noski takes over from Sean McGrady and Alan Kennedy as he looks for the hat trick. I just think up in ratings, up in distance beyond that 1600 metres that appears to be his sweet spot. He's in sensational form, but he goes in the minors. Plenty of chances here. Number 2 is probably the most interesting runner, Fontainebleau. If there's a hot tempo, I think she's the one to beat. As it is, she doesn't make my numbers. Top selection in race number 7, going with number 9, Reveille, to beat 4, Miracle Man, 5, Taxagano, and 3, Double Digit. Race number 8 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 5:15. It's the Sweps handicap over 1200 metres. And in replay, let's have a look at the last start performance of Double Jeopardy.
At the top of the home straight, and Alpha Sky getting involved in a bumping duel with the big fellow Dutch Spy back there, and he's in some bother at the 200 mark, and Double Jeopardy ranged up on the outside. Key to Fame, Cognac and Disruptive kicking back. Shackleton trying hard, Capanda on the inside, battling back. They reach the line. Disruptive.
Double Jeopardy has been the subject of betting plunges on both of his last 2 visits to Ascot. He didn't make the start 2 times ago, and then last time out it was an 1100 metre race in the book, but I think Double Jeopardy ran about 1400 metres in, finishing a short head behind Disruptive. Gets a nice gate here, gate number 3. I think the money will be down, and if Mickey Moto wasn't in the race, I think he'd be a very warm order. Goes on top from the aforementioned number 7, Mickey Moto. Won a trial, won it very, very nicely. This horse was very, very good as a 3-year-old filly, won the Burgess Queen, and then finished 3rd in the Champion Fillies. We haven't seen her since then. This is her first run for 427 days. Did like the trial. If she'd drawn a little bit softer, it would have been very hard to split 6 and 7, but as it is, I'm going with Double Jeopardy. Then a big gap to number 1, Verve de Vega. The bar plates come off, and just get a claim here with Bonnie Police. Brings it down to 57 kilos. I'm a little bit wary about apprentices riding in these type of races, but Verve de Vega will be towards the front, and should give Bonnie a reasonable ride. And then number 4, Alpha Sky. Just on suspicion here, the blinkers go on. I've got a bit of a theory this horse might be a first up specialist. He's now 4th up on Saturday, but just goes in the minors. I certainly couldn't have him anywhere near the top 2. Top selection in race number 8, going with number 6, Double Jeopardy, to beat 7, Mickey Moto, 1, Verve de Vega, and 4, Alpha Sky. It's now time to nominate my best bets on the Ascot card. No prizes for race number 3, number 1, Royal Statue. Any odds you can get will be good, because he simply will be winning. And then a bit bigger price, race number 6, the Celt, in the feature race, the Miss Andretti Stakes. It's easy to stay up to date with everything that's happening at Perth Racing. You can log onto our website, or you can follow us on one of our social media channels. Until next time, bye for now.